Kris Krohn here with Limitless Wealth TV, and today we're talking about residual income and specifically why you're going to need it, and there's something you need to do about it today. All right, my friends, welcome back. What I want to do right now is I want to talk about why you need a residual income. I really want to move as much away as I can from the cliche MLM, hype, energy, residual income, financial freedom. I just want to get real practical and real with you today, right? All of us right now is spending our time at jobs, and we're trading those jobs, trading dollars for hours, and we're putting in all this effort, whether we're business owners, whether the business is running us or we've got a job, we're putting in all this time and effort so that we can have a paycheck. And the average person right now makes $44,000 a year. So if you think about it, we'll work for a month, and what we're really gaining for that work is $4,000 a month of income. And this is you, and your income is probably a little bit different, but this $4,000 a month, what you're doing right now is you're trading, let's just call it 45 hours a week for this income. And so I'm putting in the time, I'm getting paid for my time, and right now I'm young, I'm healthy, I can work, but a time's gonna come when you're not able to work, people don't want to employ you, you can't work anymore, and something happens, and yet you're accustomed to this idea, inflating this $4,000 a month, and the question is, how do you actually create a residual income that creates freedom? Because wouldn't you agree with me right now that if you had a residual income paying you $4,000 a month, that some of you might actually walk from your job? I guarantee if some of you do not like your job, you would walk. And if you like your job, you're like, dude, I'll make $4,000 residual, I'll make $4,000 from my job, I'll make $8,000, and that's also cool. But there's a lot of people that when they realize, wait a second, if I'm capable of making $4,000 a month residually, then why would I need that job? Apparently I can employ my time more productively, more powerfully. And what I want to talk about is this concept of a residual income. And there's a couple of different ways of doing this, but let's just talk about a common one. Let's say that you buy a property, and this property has a cash flow of $500 a month. For a basic single family home below the median, it's probably a little on the high side. We do deals like this, we see this. 500 is a lot less than 4,000 a month. It's an eighth of it. But this is $500 that is different than this 4. Think about this. If this person with $4,000 a month is check to check, then how much discretionary income do they have every month? They have zero discretionary. But this 500 now means what? Means that they have $500 left over at the month that they didn't have before. Here they have nothing to invest. Here they have $500 to invest. You can compound that and you can grow that. What would happen if, because of how you took my advice and the equity in the home and in time, let's say it took you 4 years and you went from 1 home to 2 homes, this home was also making $500 a month. Well, now you're actually making $1,000 a month of residual. It's still only a quarter of what you had here, but it's all this discretionary income that you didn't have before. If you really love your family and want to financially set them up and take care of them, I'm not inviting you to create residual income so you don't have to work. But I am inviting you to create a residual income because it is the prudent, safe thing to do. You see, I want to just share with you for just a moment what society's game plan is. Society says this is what they have a residual income plan for you. It's if you put your money in a 401k, and if you put money in an IRA, and if you put money in your home equity, then when it comes time to retirement, let's say that you actually have $250,000. It's a lot higher than a lot of people end up having, but let's just call it, some of you are going to have more than that. Let's call it $250,000. They're going to tell you that you should put it into an annuity, and a typical annuity can safely guarantee somewhere around 4%. Not quite the rate of inflation, pretty close to it, but it's also real dollars in hand. And I want to ask you for a moment, what is 4% of $250,000? It's $10,000 a year. So if you break that out according to month, that's going to be somewhere around $800 a month. And I want to ask you, can you live off of $800 a month when you're accustomed to $4,000 a month? Most people can't afford to do that. In fact, if you just wanted to replace your income, based on this math alone, you're probably going to need $1.25 million. And by the way, that with inflation, you're gonna need more than that because that's still representing today's dollars. But how many people can really set $1.25 million aside? Not very many people. So the solution says we need to take enough financial ownership over our own life that we can find a solution that society can't offer us. That's why I talk about real estate. It's not the only way that I create wealth, but it is a good way that I create wealth, and it's a dependable way, and it's transferable, meaning I can teach you how to do it. I can give you tools and resources so that you can do the same thing. When I had a residual income $10,000 a month, I quit my job. I was nervous. I got my jobs paying me tiddlywinks in the beginning and actually paying me quite well by the time I left, but I was nervous. And when I did, I was glad I did because, again, I had this freedom. And the freedom is what I value more than anything. If we want to talk this game of residual income, it's not about the money. Residual income is about this word right here. It's how do I create the freedom for me and my family to have more options, more choices, and most importantly, when it does come to those elder years and retirement years, have you put plans in place that really got you taken care of? So one of the things that I want to invite you to do is I want you to think about how you're saving excess money from your day job, and I want you to think about where you're putting it. And if you're putting it in places that are not going to get you where you want to go, it's time to diversify. It's time to peel off some of that money and to put it into investments that can help get you there. Now, if you want to see some examples of what those are, what those look like, you can click the link on the website up here, and me and my team will show you and educate you on that website some of the different options you have where you can easily blow traditional financial means out of the water and do something incredible with your life, whether it's through real estate or through some of the other options that we have. Because at the end of the day, that residual income is what's going to make the biggest difference. You may never retire from working. They say the average man dies within 5 years of quitting or retiring. But instead of working because you have to, or instead of working at a job that you'd rather not, set yourself up for success. Be wise with your money and set money aside. And friends, that's why you need a residual income. Are you ready to get started on your journey of creating and building wealth and establishing a residual income? Click the link. Listen, when I started, I had nothing, and I'm going to share with you some options where with very little, you can grow something tremendous. So join me on the website. Let me and my team educate you on what that looks like. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and I've got more videos coming your way tomorrow.